Trading opportunities with Spain. I am an international trade representative at a motor vehicle company in the United States. My corporation is going through the process of deciding if we want to establish a trade relationship with Spain. I have been given the assignment of conducting an economic report about Spain to provide current information about Spain that will be used to make the decision of whether or not we will establish a trade relationship with Spain. My analysis will cover key economic indicators, trade dynamics, theories of trade, major trading partners, and exchange rate trends. As my audience, you are members of the board for the Motor Vehicle Corporation that I am presenting the report to. You will evaluate my report so that we can come to a decision about a trade relationship with Spain. This graph shows Spain's GDP for recent years, specifically highlighting the GDP in 2023, which is 1.462 billion. Let's begin by examining Spain's economic landscape. In 2023, Spain boasted a GDP in current prices of 1,462.07 billion, according to the previous chart, with per capita GDP of $33,090. The 2022 trade to GDP ratio stood at 80.54%, indicating a significant reliance on international trade. Spain's human capital index of 0.73 reflects its high level of human capital development, while its physical capital, including advanced infrastructure and technology trends, positions it as an attractive trading partner. The government spending for 2023 was 684 billion euros, rounded to 734 billion US dollars. This top graph shows the value of imports throughout the years. The key point is the most recent value in 2022 of 35%. The bottom graph shows the exports in euros for 2020, which is around 60 billion euros. You can see that after 2020, this value increases. Now let's dive into theories of trade to understand Spain's commodity pattern of trade. Spain's export pattern aligns with the theories of comparative advantage, with a focus on industries where it holds a competitive edge, such as automotive and agricultural products. Intra-industry trade is evident, particularly in sectors like automotive and pharmaceuticals, indicating vertical specialization and value chain integration. The gravity model of trade further explains Spain's trade dynamics, with neighboring European countries emerging as major trading partners due to geographic proximity and historical ties. Turning our attention to trade data, Spain's exports in 2023 totaled $372 billion, covering a diverse range of products including automobiles, machinery, pharmaceuticals, and agricultural goods. Major export partners such as France, Germany, Italy underscore Spain's integration into the European market. Meanwhile, Spain imported $383 billion worth of goods, with key imports including machinery, vehicles, and electrical equipment. Germany, France, and China emerged as major import partners, reflecting Spain's reliance on global markets to meet domestic demand. The GDP per capita for Spain in 2023 was $33,000. According to a 2022 article, Spain was ranked 51st among other countries for GDP per capita. Spain has success in the vehicle industry. In 2022, Spain was number 15 in the world in terms of GDP, number 20 in total exports, and number 15 in total imports. The top export in Spain was cars, which has a value of $33.6 billion. Cars were also one of Spain's top imports, which was $18.2 billion. This represents an example of their intra-industry trade with the importing and exporting of the same product. Another one of Spain's top exports was packaged medicaments, which was $12.7 billion. It was also a top import for Spain at $13.2 billion. These values being so similar represents some bias to exporting this industry. With both importing and exporting, some of Spain's common partners were France, Germany, and Italy. In 2023, Spain's exchange rate, considering the current conversion rate, where 1 euro equals 1.1 US dollars. Exchange rates play a crucial role in determining a country's trade competitiveness, investment flows, and overall economic performance. With the euro trading at 1.1 US dollar, it is important to consider the implications for Spain's trade dynamics. A weaker euro relative to the US dollar can potentially benefit Spanish exporters by making their goods and services more competitive in international markets. This could lead to increased export volumes, bolstering Spain's economic growth and trade balance. Human capital. The Human Capital Index is 73%, which is higher than the average for Europe and Central Asia region, which is 69%, and high-income countries, which is 71%. Investment. Foreign investment reached 34.2 billion euros in 2022, which is the second highest figure since 1993. Also in 2022, foreign investments in greenfield projects in Spain reached its highest level, exceeding $44 billion. Technology. The digital economy represents 22.6% of Spain's GDP in 2022. The direct impact for 2022 was 11.2%. Cesar Tello, the general director of A-Digital, said, "The impact of digitalization has such a broad and cross-cutting spectrum that it affects all dimensions of economic life. It is essential to continue measuring and monitoring this impact in order to chart a roadmap that makes our country a space of leadership thanks to technology, taking advantage of our particularities and strengths." Land. However, land use in Spain is currently dominated by agriculture, livestock, farming, and forestry, occupying over 42 million hectares or 80% of the country. Of this area, just over 30% is used for dry farmed crops, 30% for forestry, and 12% for grazing and plant species requiring little water. Irrigated crops occupy 7% of the land, and yet, even in these areas, the flora is not without interest. Many plants endemic to Spain grow there, and several animal species are able to live there. In addition to all of this, there is another wholly altered and irrevertible habitat. 8% of the land is covered by urban areas and infrastructures. Markets. Spain has a mixed capitalist economy in which there is a variety of private freedom combined with a centralized economic planning and government regulation. Spain is a member of the European Union, otherwise known as EU. Transportation. Value added in the transportation market is projected to